Yo, this is Never Gallimore from the Dallas Cowboys, and I want to give a major shout out to Mike Tag. Keep bringing the hype to the Cowboys Nation. We love and appreciate it. Now, can you dig it? Let's get it.
Hey, I told you guys! Don't go Bears! Just one game! All I've heard for the last 5 weeks is we want Dallas! So all you haters, you come down to me! You fuel the fire! Because I want it! Are you gonna say, hey, you dig it?
What is up? Welcome to another edition of Tag Nation. Your boy Mike Tag. Of course, we got Jimmy D. Before we get heavy into all the football, and fortunately, got to get in a little baseball this week. Can't hide it. Can't hide from it. We just gotta meet it head on. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, share. Man, things have been going good. We had our 1,000 subscriber giveaway. We had that beautiful Micah Parsons trying to find the picture to make you guys jealous. My man Doug got it. My man Jose almost got it, but he didn't get the answer right. So Doug was the benefactor of that. But we're working on a 1,500 subscriber. I love doing giveaways. You know, like I said, Jimmy and I, we grew up in the 80s and 90s. You know, hip hop. You know, Ice Cube always said, "Got to give something back to the place where you made it from," right, Jimmy? So we got to give back. So we got a prize pack. It's for the Cowboys, of course. You know, maybe Jimmy D will get something for the Yankees or something. We'll come up with something for him. But it's going to be a prize pack of some various 8x10s of some Dallas Cowboy players because I'm all about this Cowboys cave and making sure that your Cowboys cave is tight. If it's not tight, we tighten it up for you. So before we get started, Jimmy D, of course, I want to give you the opportunity for an opening statement. If there's anything you want to cover, I know there's some things that it's going to be hitting you hard today, but we'll address it and support you as it goes.
No, I appreciate it. I really need the moral support. There's definitely a crime scene in the Bronx today. There's yellow tape all over the place. The Yankees were massacred. Still trying to figure out what happened. There's going to be an ongoing investigation. And the question is, what's going to be, we'll spend a minute or two on this if it's okay. What's going to be the fallout? I already got Tom from Rochester telling me Aaron Boone's got to go. There was already news about is Judge going to go out to California, back where he made it from, you know? And I mean, there's a lot to be answered. And I just couldn't believe the way we got our asses kicked. And, not for nothing. I'm 1 for 10 for my pro teams since last Wednesday. The Knicks won 1. The Rangers lost 2. The Yankees lost 4. The Knicks lost 1. And the Falcons, well, we all know that. We'll talk about that later.
We will talk about that. And I feel for you. We're going to get into it. But let's more importantly, we talk about what went right. We won't talk about the Miami Hurricanes, of course. That was my massacre on Saturday. But we will talk about the Cowboys a little bit. I know, I told you I'm going to make you a Cowboys fan. And don't forget, your boys back at AT&T. Got Jimmy on my side. We're heading out there. We're going to have a great time. I wish it was a later game, but unfortunately, because we're playing the Bears, they're putting us at 12 noon. So I wish it was a later one. But we're going to have fun anyway. I'm getting in on Friday. We got a full day planned on Saturday. Going to hit the hockey game for Jimmy, and I got to support him. And then, of course, we'll be hitting Texas Live a bunch of those nights, and we'll be finding some spots. So make sure you guys check it out. If you guys are out there, give me a holler.
Hey, for the hockey game, we're in section 311. Dallas Stars, New York Rangers, looking for a big win on the road, baby.
Well, we'll get it go. We'll try and get you some, but more importantly, the Cowboys got to win. So, the Cowboys, Dak Prescott's return. We had the Philly game. I got to worry about that. Philly, they beat another backup. They got him, and they got our boy. You hear that, Jimmy?
What's that?
We got old Ben DiNucci. He chimed in. They beat Ben DiNucci. They got him. And then they also got our other backup. So we're not going to worry about that. We're going to see them in December. We'll let that play out as it goes. But let's talk about this game. Because you had the Cowboys, of course, with Dak's return. A lot of question, a lot of concern. How's it going to look? And if you listen to me, if you listen to what I said, if you looked at my tweets, I told you it's going to be a slow start. Don't go expecting 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, any of that. going to start off slow, and then we're going to kind of pick it up as it goes. And sure enough, it did. It started out slow. I know it was 6-3. A lot of people had angst and had some little unsure. Look at my man Jeff White, Cowboys fan. He was loving life. He's checking in on the show, but it worked out exactly as I predicted. The defense took it over. Now, we heard about this vaunted offense that Detroit had, the one that threw 35 up on Philly, but they managed 6 points against us. So I guess our defense came to play. We had 5 sacks. They only gave up 7 sacks. That's a good offensive line we went up with. 7 sacks they gave up all year until that game. We knocked out 5. 2 by that rookie that a lot of people hated. A lot of people said was a reach pick, and he ends up getting 2 sacks. He only played 12 snaps. He gets 2 sacks, forced fumble recovery. The man did it all in the limited time. So everything worked out exactly as planned. And some people, Jimmy, are upset. Now, the thing that I don't get, Dak didn't put up 500. The formula for success: solid defense, strong running game. Pollard had 80-something yards. Zeke had 60 yards, a couple touchdowns. Everything was working towards a plan where you didn't rely on Dak. We don't need our quarterback to throw 50 times. Let him throw 24 times, right? Let us control the game, and that's exactly what they did.
Well, and what I do, and I did have some notes because
came prepared
because I'm not going to remember all this stuff. I was obviously tuning into the massacre on Fox with my Falcons, but this doesn't concern. That was a game, so we had. First quarter for the Cowboys, punt, field goal. Second, punt, fumble. Third, touchdown, punt.
Yep.
It's 10-6 in the fourth. Detroit misses scoring a touchdown by a half a yard. Props to your defense. You took it over. You got the turnover, touchdown, and then another late turnover for a touchdown. Were at any point you were concerned at all?
Not at all. No, only because, I watched the whole game. So the flow of the game, there was no doubt that we were going to win. I knew we were going to start off slow. There was no fear of the Lions scoring any touchdowns or making anything. They had the one play where I give Parsons a lot of credit. I was showing my brother that today. Hustle play, ran down the field, got the guy at the 1 foot line, and then Tank Lawrence went in and got the forced fumble, changed the game. You can look at it a couple ways. Dallas was getting ready to score right before half. Dak throws a great pass. Noah Brown, you can't blame the guy. He got flipped all around, and the first thing you do is when you're looking upside down is you probably want to try and brace yourself so you don't break your neck. He did. The ball came out. They were going to score right there. So that was one of those unfortunate plays that happened. So they could have went into half, up what? 10-6, 7-13, whatever the hell the score was. Yeah. They could have went up there and it didn't. But you just felt the flow of the game. I wasn't concerned. Turpin with a great game-changing, should have been game-changing punt return, and then we kind of, fudged that up a little bit. But I expected some rust. He hadn't played in a month and a half. You gotta expect some rust. But really, you can't get enough. You can't get enough of this. My man Jose with Sam Williams. Hey. I think I saw another Sam Williams took that ball from. Yes, he did. That dude came to play, and he's been getting better and better. And then of course you got Damon Clark coming back. The defense is getting stronger and stronger. And what I try and tell these guys, you get that defense travels. That defense travels. It'll travel wherever they got to go. Any hostile environment. That's neutralized by the defense. We're defense heavy. We're defense strong. All we need the offense to do is not turn the ball over. You saw what happened. When you turn the ball over, they turned it over in Philly. What happened? They lose a game. You don't turn the ball over in Detroit. Yeah, it's, it was probably a little too close for comfort, but they pull away. The spread was 7. They beat them 24-6. We'll get into that later, of course. But they did what they had to do. And they, Detroit has been in every game. That's the only game I believe they lost that wasn't a single possession. But of course, I was going to get into it. My man Jeff, Jordan Lewis out for the year. I like Bland. If you get my son on here, he really really likes Calvin Joseph. We have fights about it all the time. Bland Joseph. He thinks they should put Anthony Brown on the inside and Joseph on the outside. I'm not going to get into all that, but I think Bland had a phenomenal preseason. He actually played early on in the season when Lewis was dealing with, I think it was a hamstring or some sort of injury he had. Losing Lewis is going to hurt, but I don't think it's going to be a big impact to the secondary. I think we got it covered.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing you have for you is you had Detroit this past Sunday. You guys, will be at the Bears game this Sunday, so that's a good way to bring back Dak back on his comeback tour, if you will.
Yeah,
but that's the thing. Your defense is strong. I think that the what we're seeing is things evolve. I said last week the 49ers were the number one defense till they played us, and look what happened to them yesterday. They got killed to death.
No.
By the time the third quarter rolled around. So I think you guys, are you number 2 right now, your defense?
They were number 1. I don't know where they're at now. They didn't really give up a lot of yards. So I think they got to be close unless someone did something. But I do know we lead the NFL in sacks. We didn't get, Dak Prescott. I think he got sacked. He got sacked one time, maybe. Wasn't a lot. I think our line held up, or maybe it was a couple. Because Hutchinson, I got to give some credit to that man. That rookie Hutchinson, he's a baller. I mean, Detroit, I like Campbell. That's hard. I do like Campbell. I think he's a fiery coach. He's had Bill Parcells drafted him. He was with the Giants. He was with the Cowboys for a couple of years when he kind of followed Parcells around where he went. I think he's a fiery guy. I don't know if he's going to get the opportunity to really see it through. I think eventually, just like with any coaching, you're just kind of your time. You only get so much time, and they'll end up moving on. But that team has some fight in them. You watched them in Hard Knocks, so I didn't think it was going to be a blowout by any stretch. I figured they're going to be a scrappy. They're like their coach. They're going to be a scrappy team. But I said, we're going to pull away in the fourth quarter. It's going to be tight. Uncle Cheech is going to be sweating it because if he would have been a jinx, Uncle Cheech would have been out the door jinxing my team. But it'll be interesting. I did see one thing I wanted to – Jimmy, we got to give some props because I didn't think it was going to happen tomorrow. But some people say, "Hey, you guys, that might have been a scam. You guys didn't give out no picture. It was a setup." Well, here's my man. He just got the photo today. You saw that. When was that show? Thursday. I didn't go send it Pony Express. I made sure that thing was certified. Made sure it was packed with care by moi. Made sure that thing was beautiful shape. Expedited delivery. Spare no expense. And the man got it on Monday, just in time for the show.
And Doug, you gotta get some earlier plane tickets. You gotta meet us at the hockey game on Saturday. Get the weekend started off right. Come on, man.
Yeah, no,
but no, you're right though. No, Doug, we're happy for you. But like you said, you got to send pictures of it hanging up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's gonna get it. He's gonna get it taken care of. I'm trying to follow up with the chats, but yeah, defense is fast. Again. All right, I'll pull out the VHS tapes because whenever I talk about it, all the haters are going to bring up the 90s. When I talk about the 90s, they're going to bring out the VHS tapes and all that. So just so you guys know, I did convert that to DVD, and I did one better because DVD is that's a 2000. I got it all digitized now, so it's digital. Oh. It's on my hard drive. I can watch it whenever I want and good quality. But this defense reminds me so much of those teams in the 90s with Jimmy Johnson. They have waves of defensive linemen that just come after you. You can have 4 in there. The next series, you got a fresh 4. Then they're rotating in and out. And I think that's what's going to help this team in the end. It's the same thing I say about the running game with Pollard and Zeke. Oh, give Pollard more care. Both these guys, it's a long season. We want them fresh in the end, and you can just see it. Zeke is he's the bruiser. He had some nice runs, ran hard, loosen him up. Get Pollard in there to make up some big, get some big runs. So that's what I'm seeing on this team, and that's what I like.
Well, and it goes with the turnovers, right? Last week, I think it was a 3 differential against you. This week was a 4 differential for you. And that's a good thing about having a strong defense. Yeah,
and meaner than the 92 defense. Any defense that's got Charles Haley on it, man. I don't know if you get much meaner than that. I mean, you had Russell Maryland and Tony Tolbert and Jimmy Jones and Tony Cassell. I mean, there was some bad boys. So I'm not gonna disrespect anything when it comes to the 90s teams and the defense. if you want to get put on that pedestal, you bring home that 6th trophy, and then we can have that conversation. There's no doubt about it. It was just like, Jimmy, I don't want to get sidetracked, but I'm looking on Twitter, and I don't know if it was a joke. I don't know if Quincy Carter was just trying to get some play, trying to figure it out. But he put in a picture of Troy Aikman and Dak Prescott with their stats, like Dak Prescott's stats yesterday and Troy Aikman in 2 Super Bowls, and I'm like, dude, don't even go there. One, a totally different era in passing, so don't even try and compare that. But you're talking about a guy who's won 3 Super Bowl championships. Don't do that to Dak. It's not fair. It's not. There's no conversation of any of that until you win some Super Bowl rings, and that's the fate that Romo's always got to live with. Danny White's got to live with. Is if you're not winning Super Bowls, you can't get put in the stallback. You can't get put in the Troy Aikman category, and that's just the way it is. Right or wrong, I always said quarterbacks get too much of the credit and too much of the blame, but that's just the way it is in sports.
Well, and 2 points of interest in regards to that. Dan Marino, who in my opinion, the best pure passer in the history of the game, 0 rings. So you don't hear about him as much as you should. The second thing, it's like you said, it's that different era. Yeah, the quarterbacks, it's flag football with them anymore, right? You can't touch them. I'm still pissed about 2 weeks ago when, it was clearly a picture perfect textbook sack on Brady. And it's a rough in the passer. So it's a different era. You can't compare the two. So I agree with you on that one. He's probably just trying to get some run on Twitter.
No, well, that's what a lot of it is. Now, I don't want to bring this up, Jimmy. I hate to do it. I saw a comment, and it took me a minute to kind of figure out what he was saying. Now, this person could be upset because a long time ago, there was a competition. There was a game where it was mano-a-mano and a little tackle football in the front yard. And they came up on the short end of the stick. So my man Abram put 28-3 out there. It took me a minute to figure out that. I was like, oh, Jimmy's got the stuff on the wall. He knows he's a Falcon fan. So I guess he still could be a little bitter.
It's very original. I appreciate that one, bro.
Yeah. And,
you know what? We're going to go mano-a-mano pretty soon again. I heard you're pretty tall.
I did. Now you're on your own with that one. I seen those 2 boys, man. You're on your own. We got him at the right time. But
he's big and he's tall.
But yeah, Dak's a Super Bowl away from going down in history. Tony's in the Ring of Honor. We're going to get into the Ring of Honor. I want to have some content with that because, Tony Romo in the Ring of Honor, he's probably one of the most important players in that era. So, I guess it's kind of hard to argue. But until Ed Too Tall Jones is in the Ring of Honor, I mean, it's almost criminal he's not in the Ring of Honor. And it's more criminal that he's not in the Hall of Fame. When you got to get guys like that in the Ring of Honor, I mean, you talk about a person who, the franchise, if you say Ed Too Tall Jones, there ain't no question who you're talking about. I don't care if they're a Cowboy fan or not a Cowboy fan. You say Ed Too Tall Jones, they know exactly who you're talking about. And of course, my man Jimmy Johnson, goes without saying as well. Until I see names like that in the Ring of Honor, Jerry Jones needs to start doing the right thing and getting those guys. Of course, he owns a team. He can do what the hell he wants. You tell him Mike Tag, you shut up. You deal with it. I guess I got to. But I don't understand how those 2 guys in particular, and I'm sure if you give me a little bit of time, I could come up with a couple others, but that's what they've really got. But we don't worry about that. Like I said, Dak Prescott, let his career finish. Let's see what happens. I mean, now he's got some pieces. Now he's got the defense. Jeff and I we went to the playoff game last year, so he can attest to it. We saw that team get knocked around. That defense got bullied. Deebo Samuel, he had his way with. Now we got to get that bully mentality with our team. And I believe we got it. And I believe our offense has the capability and has the weapons to be able to put some points on the board when needed. But we got the defense that can travel. So I'm excited about this year. And to the Eagle fans and all the other ones that say, hey, you all are in 3rd place. We're going to win our division. Dude, I'm telling you, go win a division. Don't give it. I could give two S's about it. All I care about is getting in the playoffs. I want this team battle tested. The best thing that Philly's done, the best thing that the Giants have done for this team is win. Because now it forces the Cowboys. Every game is going to be a fight. There's no waltzing to the finish line, cruising to the end, struggling, and it's okay. That's what you want. The same thing I'll say with the Falcons. I mean, I think the Falcons are in first place.
We are in first place.
Beating. They're in first place. They're going to have to fight. They're going to have to battle.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on with Tom Brady. I think he's still out there soul searching. I'm not sure. I think he made a big mistake maybe coming back.
Yeah, that was foolish on his part. Like I said, he looks disinterested. I mean, the man looks emaciated. He looks he looks like a crackhead right now.
Yeah,
I'm saying what I feel. That's what I'm seeing. But I did want to bring that up because it seems as though we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Cowboys fans and Philadelphia fans are completely disregarding this Giants team. They're 6-1. Granted, they had to, squeak it out yesterday against a lowly Jacksonville team with Horseface at quarterback for them. Any thoughts this week on the Giants? You giving a little more respect, or what's your thoughts?
Well, I thought now the Giants are playing. Who are they playing this week? I'm sorry, they're playing. Who they got this week? I'm sorry.
No clue.
No, it's on Cheech's. It's on Uncle Cheech's.
Oh, then Uncle Cheech left.
Yeah, we'll have to ask Uncle Cheech. I forgot who they're playing. If someone has it, shoot it in there. Look, we beat the Giants. Now, I think the Giants are a scrappy team. I think they're a tough team. I think they're a team that you don't want to play, especially with Saquon Barkley running the ball very well. I think they're a team that they're building themselves up. But I'm not worried about them. I mean, we beat them with our backup. I think our defense. That's the thing. Our defense. The only teams that I could see that could ever give Dallas a little bit of trouble, the Chiefs, the Bills. If Brady was at his full weight, then you would say Brady, in the Bucks. But there's no team, if the Packers were doing anything, they're at Seattle. Thanks, Doug. I knew that was one of the games. So we're going to get into that one. But that would be those are the teams that worry me. But if you look at the NFC, there's really no team scares me. I don't know if you guys in the listening, if you guys disagree, agree, put a comment in a team that worries you in the NFC. There really isn't one that worries me. So I think for the Cowboys, there's not going to be a lot of excuses. Barring a catastrophic injury, they're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to have the opportunity in the playoffs. And it's, they need to capitalize. And McCarthy and these guys, I mean, if there's one criticism I'll get is my man Kellen Moore. I thought he was figuring stuff out without Dak, but I don't know if Dak comes back, he just starts, going back in his mind and trying to do all this other crap. But I just wish that he would just stick to the plan. Stick to the plan.
No, but you know what it is? I agree with you. I think right now in the league, I think there's 14 teams that are either at or below 500. And in my division, 3 and 4, we're in first place at 3 and 4. We're tied for first. So they wanted parity. They got it. Just like you said, you get in the playoffs, just like the Bengals last year, anything can happen. You get on a hot streak. That's what I'm saying. I just want to get in the playoffs. I don't care if we're 7 and 9 or what is now 7 and 10. I just want to get into the playoffs. And in my division, that can be a reality.
It will be. It will be. It could very easily be. Yeah. Thanksgiving, man. I went to the Thanksgiving Day game last year. Ooh. I embarrassed myself. I swore I don't know if I could ever do it again. I really wanted to go this year because, believe it or not, the Giants are the only team I've never seen the Cowboys play, like within our division. I've seen the Eagles a bunch of times. Now, again, for you guys to make it feel a little better, I did change the plans. I talked to the better half. I put together a plan, I sold it, being the salesman that I am. I got her buying in. We're going to the Cowboys, Eagles game, Christmas Eve. These eyes that you're looking at have never seen the Cowboys lose in person against the Eagles. And I'm dating it back into 96 or 95 when I went to Texas Stadium to see the Cowboys play the Eagles. Never seen them lose. Don't intend to in AT&T this Christmas Eve. So you guys rest assured your boy's going to make sure everything is properly taken care of come then. But, like to your point, the division is crazy. You look at, the Giants beat the Jags. I don't know if you watched that. The Jaguars had a chance, and the guy caught it at the one. If he would have thrown it to where he didn't have to jump up, that would have. I mean, he could have easily just fell in. But
that was close.
But yeah,
Well,
car salesman. I ain't no used car. I sell other stuff, man. I'm not gonna get into it. That's my personal life, but I handle that business. Let's just say that. So, but yeah, they were 1 yard away. They were.
Bro, if Horseface places that ball any better, you're right. The game's over. And
it was there, and he drove them down, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to be at that game if any of my boys are going to be there in Jacksonville. I'm going to be at that game too, and that's not a. Now I think we'll win, but that's not a gimme game by any stretch. That Jaguar team is scrappy. They're a scrappy team.
Now, granted, the Giants. Jags were ahead most of the game, but the Giants in that final drive had 3 backbreaking penalties that allowed that drive to happen. So Giants almost shot themselves in the foot.
Hang on one second.
Yeah,
Hang on one second. Jimmy, go ahead and answer the phone. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hello?
So anyway, like I was saying, I'm just happy because we.
Okay, this is Nancy. We were going to come and look at that golf.
Excuse me 1 second. So 3 and 4, we're in first place.
I'm sorry.
You sure
right?
can.
All right.
I don't
I'll call you
care
right back.
what the deal is.
Bye.
You get in the playoffs, anything can happen. That's all I care about right now. And Cowboy fans should feel the same. Never mind what Philadelphia is doing. We've said it before. I'll say it again. Jalen Hurts, he's not a bad quarterback, but he's not great. He has mediocre stats week to week. And if he's not running, they're not doing anything.
Who are we talking? I'm working and talking at the same time. It was an important call. I apologize.
No, that's fine.
What quarterback? Oh,
Jalen Hurts. If his legs aren't moving, nothing's happening.
You saw what he did against. The Cowboys did. They were their own. Now I'm not going to sit there. And make excuses. I don't know what goes on with Twitter with our Cowboys guys and the Philly guys. I really can't. I can't figure that out. I could care less about Philly. I don't think about them. I don't pay attention. They beat us. Give them credit. Move on. We play each other again. They finally got it. They beat another backup, like I said. They've beat 2 backups in 6 years. That's the only time they beat us. So if they're that excited about the win, enjoy it. You're in first place. Hey, man, I'm not going to be a hater. But last I checked, the season doesn't end in week 6 or week 7. It ends in week 17. So we got a long way to go.
Yeah,
we got a long way to go. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, of course they must agree with your takes, Jimmy. You're on that. And we're gonna get Jimmy Stradamus because this man has been right on everything. I don't know if you saw a meme I put out there, Jimmy, about the Denver Broncos. I mean, with Walmart, they got bought. Walmart bought them. And, Walmart's always known they got the lowest prices, right? And now they got the lowest scored team in the NFL. I mean, they always look for rock bottom, opportunities, and they just found one. They totally, I don't know what's going on with that team, but I tell you, maybe you give Pete Carroll a little credit being that coach. Pete Carroll, they got rid of Wilson. They got 2 number 1s. They got, I don't know how many number 2s. They got all this other stuff. And they're going to reload that team fast.
You know what he's saying about Denver? You know what he's saying about Denver? Oh, what a bunch of dummies. And Geno Smith's career is resurrected. And I shouldn't even say resurrected because he never was. And he's playing pretty damn good this year.
Yeah.
I give him a lot of credit.
No, he is. I mean, they're and that team, that team is playing good. They're going to be, that's what I said with the Giants. I believe it's at Seattle, right? I believe it's at Seattle. That's not going to be that's going to be a tough game. That's going to be a tough game for the Giants. And of course, I want them to lose. That goes without saying. I think they're going to have their hands full going across country. You know how that stuff goes. Yeah. There's always something. But let's see. Just like the Giants, Saquon can't carry them forever. No, it's true.
Hey, but you know what? Daniel Jones had 100 yards rushing yesterday. I was shocked.
No, he hadn't gotten his chance, right? I mean, he's one of those guys.
Yeah, he is one of those guys. And Dable, he's got that team rolling, and we'll see what happens. Like I said, it's what happens in week 15, 16, 17. That's what we're obviously, proves the mettle, shows their mettle, shows what they're made of.
No. Absolutely. So we'll see what happens. But it was a crazy week. You got the Bears in New England Monday night. Hopefully you guys if you had any trouble sleeping last night from the excitement of the football, this will cure that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys will hopefully be asleep.
God.
That's why hopefully we'll keep you awake a little bit. You're gonna get down for the first half, but we're gonna get in. We're gonna get into to some Yankees because we got to get into that. But first, Jimmy D, if it's all right, because we're on football, so I figure it'd be good.
Absolutely.
Is maybe get Uncle Cheech. You know, Uncle Cheech. I wasn't here. You held down the fort. You got Uncle Cheech taken care of with these picks, and I'm telling you guys, we're talking about the Vegas Insider. This man's legendary. His picks have been unbelievable. He was 3-1 last week. He was really the Miami Dolphins from showing a little sympathy, not going for that field goal away from being 4-0. I mean, I don't know. I think he's over. He's pushing near. He's got to be pushing near 65, 70%. So we're going to get Uncle Cheech on. We need to get these picks, see how he's feeling. Uncle Cheech, are you there?
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Doing good. We got to get you on the big screen there. We moved me to the little screen and Jimmy to the little screen because you're the big star. You're the one going. Now before I get going, there's a grassroots movement going for you to get the respect that you deserve. We need our followers. We need our people to start spreading the word that ESPN on game day, you got these other jabronis, these other clowns on there picking. They don't know what the hell they're doing. It's time to get Uncle Cheech on there to give these people some good picks so you can educate the college youth so they got more money to spend on their beer.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I told me and Lee Corso, we're paisans, you know. I should be on there. I'm better than the Bear. By far.
Absolutely.
Jimmy, no argument from you, Jimmy.
No, not at all. My paisan, mio paisano.
That's right.
Made me a lot of money.
He's making.
Well, hopefully I'm gonna make you more this week. If that stupid idiot would have kicked the field goal, I would have been 4-0. And I got to tell you, I got to add a little bit more to it. Dolphins went down on first drive like nobody's business. Okay, when they had 7-0. After that, 9 points.
Yeah. Got conservative.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh scored 10. Instead of making a 2-score game with that kick, would have made me 4-0. What they were thinking, I don't know. And the other team was in striking distance. They were only 6 ahead. If they would have had, he's a young quarterback, and I think he's a good prospect. But if they would have had somebody there like Aaron Rodgers or Brady in his prime or something, he probably could have took him down there. Touchdown, extra point, they win the game because they didn't kick that field goal.
That's why you got to step on their throats.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Listen.
They don't want to let now. There is rumors because we saw it firsthand after the Bucks game. Referees were running up to players, getting autographs, trying to maybe schmooze them a little bit. Maybe there was some of that going on in that Miami game. I don't know, causing you to be 4-0. Maybe they had some side money on there. But anyway, it's going to be interesting. But I got to hear, what do you got in store for us? Hopefully, maybe you're picking the Cowboys. I don't know what you got up your sleeve. What do you got this week?
I just want to say one more thing. Now, Brian Flores is the defensive coordinator for the Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
The former Miami coach.
Oh, that's right.
Before I get into my picks, I just got to say one thing. I watched a couple games Saturday. One was my upset special. The other one, my beloved Hurricanes. Oh. And I got to tell you, never in my lifetime, I don't think I'll ever see it again. The Hurricanes, 8 turnovers by the same team in one game. I've never seen that. 50 years I've been watching college football. I never saw anything like that. 8 turnovers in one game. Disgrace. And as far as my lock goes, another thing, Oklahoma State, no penalties. I've never seen a college game where the team had no penalties. Wow. I thought somebody might go to the papers over that. I've never seen that in my life. College game, no penalties.
No.
But I'll take them.
Uncle Cheech.
Are you complaining for maybe Uncle Cheech? Maybe you had some of your guys in there working the angles a little bit to help him out. I'm not going to accuse you of anything because I don't want no one knocking on my doors. But, you broadcast out. You take the win. You don't apologize. You got the scuttle for a lot of our followers, a lot of our viewers. I get text messages all the time about make sure you thank Uncle Cheech. Make sure you get that man some fresh cigars out of the house for getting us all these wins.
I'm still working on that box of cigars I got last week from him.
Very nice.
For my lock.
Uncle Cheech, did you have any of your people go and have a talk with the Dolphins coaching staff after sitting on that field goal?
Oh, I would have liked to.
Have a nice long talk.
I don't like it. You're giving the other team a chance to win, and it just didn't make sense to me.
No.
I just thought it was a terrible thing.
No.
High school play calling.
So let's hear. What do you got up your sleeve? What are you picking? I know I teased one of the games, but go ahead and get started.
Okay. My first game, the team I hate the most, Notre Dame and Syracuse. I'm going to take the Orange Men minus 2.5.
Wow.
They're at home. They played Clemson pretty tough.
They did.
I think they got a better team than people were thinking, and Notre Dame is worse than where they start off. Number 5, number 6, beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nobody. I like that. Anyway, that's what I like. My next game is going to be Green Bay at Buffalo.
Now, this one's interesting.
Green Bay has been playing terrible. And embarrassing for the Packers. Vince must be rolling over, another Paisan. But I'm giving up 11.
That's a lot.
Somebody told me a couple weeks ago, oh, you're giving up too many points.
I did.
What happened?
You're right. But there's no concern giving up 11 points to an Aaron Rodgers-led team. I don't know if he's ever been double-digit underdogs in his career. That was shocked me when I saw that line come out.
Well, they were 11, giving up 11 points. They were didn't look like big favorites yesterday.
No. It just surprises me that's how far they've fallen to be double-digit underdogs in a pro game with Aaron Rodgers as your starting quarterback. I just don't think I ever seen that.
You got a good young quarterback at Buffalo. They got a real good defense. I just think they're just going to be way too much. Might force Aaron Rodgers into early retirement.
Well, we play him in a couple of weeks, so hopefully the Bills work him over a little bit, as they say. But my man Steve, he agrees with you. He thinks the Bills are going to roll all over him. So I have a feeling he's going to be laying some money on that game.
Oh, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have to use Uncle Cheech for some of his retirement planning after this season.
All right, now we got my upset. It's going to be Oklahoma at Iowa State.
Oh,
plus 1.5. I'm going to get 1.5. Iowa State, Oklahoma, another team ranked in the top 5 beginning of the year. Now they're ranked nothing. From a powerhouse of champs to chumps. I've heard that before.
Yeah, oh yeah. We've seen it flying around and probably going to be coming back again.
Iowa State always plays them tough. I don't see it being any different this time.
No. I agree. And, they're Oklahoma right now, they're carrying their reputation around their waist. They look slow. Definitely not the team that they were last year. And losing their coach took all their players. I'm sure he got all the recruits. He had the whole thing worked out. So, yeah, I don't disagree with that pick. Now, the lock of the week is the interesting one to me because this is close.
I want to say something about Dak Prescott. I watched a show yesterday.
Yes.
He I think you were, and I watched the game too. You were behind by, I think, at halftime.
Yeah.
Your team came in second half. It just blew them away.
Yeah.
Blew them away. As far as Tua went, they went in. I told you, had that first big drive down the field. I said, this is going to be murder. Murder, I tell you. 9 points after that. 9.
Yep. You got it. But that's the mentality that we have on our defense and our team. We want to hurt you. It's like if you watch Micah Parsons, he was on the pivot, and they had asked him about the penalties. They said, roughing the passer, are you gonna play a little bit different, or this and that? And they said, well, what if you got the quarterback in your sights? Are you gonna have second thoughts? He said, is I'm gonna hit that mother effing quarterback. He'd make no mistake about it. He's not playing no game. You got to deal with the penalty if that goes. But that's the mentality. That's why I try and tell people with the Cowboys, the mindset has changed, and you got to give credit. You got to give credit to Parsons for helping make that change. It's been monumental change, and also, of course, Dan Quinn goes without saying. But on the players on the field, he's just changed everything about it. And the secret's out. I tried to keep a low profile for you, but my man Jose, he's on everything. He's on hating Dak, but he loves some other stuff. He loves us. I love Jose. He found out. You told me to keep it quiet, but you were on the Sopranos. You made a couple guest appearances. So
it's Uncle Cheech. Jose, you got to show him the proper respect. Uncle Cheech.
All right, I'm going to give you my lock.
Lock of the week. Let us have it.
New York Giants at Seattle. You were talking about the Giants before.
Oh yeah,
they ain't going to win this one.
No, the luck is finally running out for the Giants.
Seattle -3. They're going to fly all the way across country. He's got that team playing good ball. Like you said, Geno Smith. He looks like what you call all-star out there. MVP. They said that team would win 5 games this year. That's what they said beginning. That was a prediction.
Oh yeah.
5 games.
You got to give Pete Carroll has got to get considerations Coach of the Year. I mean, so far for what I can't believe I didn't think they'd win 2 games all year.
He's laughing. All those draft picks.
I mean, the running backs I had, he ran the ball. He lit them up last night.
No, no doubt about it. And they got some guys from the U. You got DJ Dallas too, was in there making some plays, and you got Homer. I think he's still there. So they're represented, and you get a lot of love on here. A lot of people love it. I can't repeat all that. A family show, but you can read it. He said they ain't beating Seattle. Geno looks like he's in. Oh yeah, there's no way the Giants are beating Seattle. They've re-energized and rejuvenated Geno Smith. Jimmy mentioned that earlier. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing. And they got Steve, 2 first-round draft picks.
Hey, Steve, with all due respect, I don't think Geno Smith ever had a prime in the NFL.
But you had a prime. Oh, no, it's all good, Steve. I just messing with you. I was just having fun.
Anyhow, all good. After the watching that Miami debacle, the Hurricanes, I thought, they're my team.
No.
I had to go to the deli and give me a big pound of gabagool, make nice gabagool sandwich with a nice glass of Chianti. And their favorite this week. Believe it or not.
Their favorite?
Their favorite on the road by 2.
Wow. Yeah.
They play community college.
You want a lock of the year? Whoever they play, that's who you take. I'll give you the
I tell you, I don't know if they're capable of winning another game. All I know is they got to play Florida State. They gotta play Florida State, and Florida State ain't playing that great either. But man, I don't think Miami's gonna win another game. I don't. No, I know you're gonna be there. I'm gonna be hiding out. I'm hiding out that weekend. That's for sure.
But it's sad because we saw people putting up social media posts, and the stadium's half empty, and the optics aren't good. And I feel badly. I don't hate the Hurricanes, but that's a bad look, man.
Well, they got to understand the stadium is never going to be full unless you're playing opposing teams. It's a private school. They got 8 to 9,000 students. You're in Miami. They don't have a stadium. It's a pro. It's basically a pro team in South Florida. That's what it is.
The Orange Bowl was always rocking.
No,
back in the day.
Jimmy, you and I sat there with 15 rows between us, stretched out. We were on the early getting Gatorade.
Okay, well, you know what? I don't remember that game for some reason. I have amnesia or something.
You do.
No, it's Miami. Unless it's Florida State, Notre Dame, big game. They don't. I mean, they average 35,000 a game, and that's about what they're going to draw. That's why they should put a stadium. They should build a stadium, a smaller stadium on campus. That way, you get a little bit of that college atmosphere. And then if you have a big game, send it on down to Hard Rock and fill that bad boy up if you want to. But they have no tradition. I mean, I went to the A&M game in Miami when they were down at College Station. You want to talk about tradition? You want to talk about an environment? It was like nothing I've ever been to. No pro game. Nothing has ever topped that as far as the experience and tradition that they have. And Miami's a small school. They're always going to get hate for that. But Florida has 60,000 students or whatever it is. The stadium is right there, so their alumni is huge. The stadium's right on campus. The kids walk there. The kids got to get a bus to go to the Hard Rock. So anyway, I can get going all day about the Canes. I was trying not to talk about them until Uncle Cheech had to bring it up, and I was trying to forget about it.
I get aggravated, but like I said a couple weeks ago, I'm going to be patient.
Yeah, all right. Crucible's been, and there's a comment. Crucible's been a huge disappointment. I have to agree. I'm going to give him time, but I overestimated his ability to do a quick fix in here with some of the talent they had. I didn't expect him to go undefeated, but I expect him to beat Middle Tennessee State and Duke. I expect him to win those games.
Yeah, be competitive.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you could ask. So,
but anyhow, you guys have a good night. Those are my picks.
All right.
I'll be watching. That's how I make my picks. I try to watch every team I can. Every team. I get to feel of it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I don't open the book and look at stats, how they beat them 15 times in the road 30 years ago and all that business. I go with the product I see on the field.
That's all you can do.
That's how I make my pick.
And that's how you make all the money. That's why people need to be following all that analytic shit. You need to follow that. So, Uncle Cheech, until next time, you guys got the picks. You see it. You want to make a little scuttle, you go ahead and follow Uncle Cheech. All right, Uncle Cheech, take care.
Guys, have a good night.
Grazie mille. A presto, zio Cheech. A presto. Amigo mio.
All right, let's get Uncle Cheech here. We get that. Oh, what do we do?
Hey,
what do I do?
We got to flip it around.
No, I did a what you call it. I'm not used to all this high tech stuff. There we go. We're back. So we've got the last few minutes. My man Jimmy, you see, he's dressed for success. He's got places to go, people to see, unless it's his funeral that we're just going to talk about. But I wanted to give him the opportunity because what I saw from them Yankees was pretty disgraceful. I have to say. I mean, for them to have that record and just absolutely get steamrolled by Houston. But now Houston hasn't lost a playoff game yet, so I guess you got to give them some credit.
Doesn't
but
matter, man.
Yankees won't win anything until Booty Boone is gone. So, Jimmy, I want to give you the opportunity to have the floor. We're going to talk some baseball, talk about the Yankees, but also the World Series. We'll give respect to the teams that are there. So, what's up?
This is my funeral outfit after that disaster, that massacre. The Yankees. So, to Jose's point, like I said, I already had Tom from Rochester talking about Aaron Boone should be back teaching, coaching Little League baseball. And I don't know, man, it's just like Uncle Cheech was saying, we were talking about analytics. All season long, he's been doing the same thing. Pitchers on a roll, no matter who it is, Cole, Nestor Cortez, whoever it is, Tyon. The 6 innings out, where to pitch count. Doesn't matter how well they're pitching. He'll take them out at the end of the inning, even though they're pitching great. So some questionable moves. In this series against the Astros, game 1, we struck out 18 times. The next 2 games, we had we had 1 or 2 runs. And yesterday, I said, all right, start a little bit late. Nasty Nestor's coming out. We're feeling good. We're going to, maybe mount a comeback. And we're up 2-0 quick. Stanton leaves guys on base again. And before you know it, we're down 3-2. And then that's all she wrote. And I don't know, man. Jose, fire Boone and Cashman. See, the problem with Boone is he's a yes man. He's a company man. And if Cashman stays, Boone stays. If Cashman's gone, Boone will be gone. But as long as Cashman's there, being a company man like he is, he's going nowhere. Judge, that's another story. I'd love to get Ohtani. I mean, but you see, too many people hating on Judge. Why are they hating on Judge? Because he hasn't shown up in the playoffs at all. right?
Mhm.
He doesn't show up for the playoffs. But I think we'll pay the money. But I think after him getting booed multiple times in the postseason in the Bronx, he might have a sour taste in his mouth, and he might be looking out in LA, going back home if they're willing to pay him comparable money. And I think he might take a little bit less money to go there because he's going home. And there's
So
less
he's a
pressure.
free agent.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they can't. There's nothing they can do to hold him. If he wants to leave, he can leave on his own free will.
UFA. Yeah.
Okay.
So, and I mean, look, we did have injuries. You can't blame it on injuries. Rizzo is our best guy, and Bader. Bader's a hell of a hitter when he's healthy. Love Harrison Bader. So I like to lock him up. Rizzo, I love, and again, I'd love to keep Judge, but he needs to show up in the playoffs. Carlos Correa. That's pretty cool. I'll take Carlos Correa any day of the week, man. I mean, it's just, it's going to be an interesting offseason.
Now, how's their pitching? Do they have the pitching to compete? Again,
we have pitching to. Yeah, I mean, we have. First of all, Garrett Cole is a good pitcher. I don't think he's worth the money we gave him. I don't have a lot of respect for him because when the Astros won the World Series a few years ago, in the press conference after the final game, instead of wearing his Astros hat, he had his agent, his player agent's hat on. I said, man, that's a Bush League move. So right from the top, I didn't respect him for that. But he's on my team, so I'm going to root for him. So we have starting pitching, yes. Nestor Cortez was a huge surprise this year. We have depth in the bullpen, but we had so many damn injuries this year. We had injuries going into the playoffs, and Cortez got hurt last night. That's why, he should have took himself out. He knew there was a problem. He left a hanging slider that was 410 feet gone, like that. Then it was 3-2. You didn't trade. Kidding me? I don't know.
You don't like Torres? I don't know Torres, but on this I got to side with Jose. I mean, I gotta take the side of Jose on this.
So anyway, I'm still in shock right now that we got our asses rolled like that. Houston's a good team. I don't like them. I can't stand them. I had to hear all kinds of smack talk from our friend Fish out in Texas, running his mouth. Longtime Astros fan.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So and hey, I'll give them props. They kicked our asses, but moving into the World Series, I think that Major League Baseball is a little bit upset because the ratings just went down like that, like a snowball in hell. They went down, and with the Phillies and Braves, the Phillies and the Astros. And the Astros just look good. I know Bryce Harper's on fire. I know the Phillies are good, but the Astros were just dominating.
And no, they did. There was never much doubt in any of the games. And again, I didn't watch them to the depth that you did. The thing I'll say about the Phillies and to Jose's point, I think that's always important. You get the mindset of winners, and I don't know the Yankees. Yeah. I don't know if they got a lot of that on their team anymore. I mean, the days of the great Jeter and Williams and Rivera and all those guys. I mean, that's long past. It's almost like you're talking about the Cowboys, and none of these guys on our team have tasted championships and things like that. But it's going to be interesting. The one thing I'll say publicly on the Phillies is I was not a Bryce Harper fan, and I laughed when they paid all that money and this and that. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the man's proven his worth, and if they end up winning a World Series, then he gets to shove it back in a lot of people's faces that had a lot of bad things to say about him. You know what I mean?
Pains me to say this, but I actually have to root for Philadelphia. I have to root for that dump of a city to win the World Series, and I don't have the same hatred for Phillies that most of my friends here in New York, the Mets fans, hate the Phillies, but I can care less about the Phillies. I hope they take the Astros. Astros are proven cheaters. This year they may have been playing it down the middle as far as we know, but they're proven cheaters. And I hope the Phillies win, but I just see the Astros in 6.
Yeah. Well, I think the Astros are going to win. I could care less who wins. I don't have a dog in a fight, but if it gives me an opportunity to laugh at Philadelphia, of course I gotta go for Houston, and that goes without saying. That goes without saying. But But no, it's with Altuve. I saw some with Jeter. Altuve is Astros Jeter. Yeah, no, I agree.
Yes.
I don't disagree. And I tell you what, the Astros remarkable run, and they could talk about the cheating and all of that stuff. But even after that, I mean, what they've done, you got to give credit where credit is due. You know, as being a Cowboys fan, I would give up. I'd give up a lot to have a kind of run that they had, or even the Patriots have been accused of cheating too, or whatever. But it'll be interesting. So this is going to wrap up our show. We got football's coming up, but more importantly, if you guys are on here, you're listening, hit that like button. It don't cost you anything. Do your boys a favor. Hit the like button. All that does is help us out a little bit. It gets the word out. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We do appreciate it. Again, Jimmy D and I, we do this for fun. This is not, this ain't my business. As you can see, sometimes I'm gone. Sometimes he's gone. Right. We got full-time jobs. We got families, but we love talking sports. We love, I love talking Cowboys. Jimmy loves talking. He knows all sorts of sports, so he can help fill in the blanks when it's not Cowboys talk. But we love doing this. We hope you guys too. We've gotten great response. We get a lot of new subscribers. We get the views are up. So continue to spread the word. Again, we want you guys calling in. I know we got kind of sidetracked talking about other stuff, so I forgot to put the numbers up a bunch of times, but we want to get to that because we love engaging with you guys, man. We had a great time on our giveaway. We had people calling in with the wrong answers, but at least they tried, but we had some fun, and that's what it's all about, man. This, life is tough. You got stressful days. You got all this crap going on, man. If we can have some fun and laugh for an hour and have a good time, that's what it's all about. So continue. I appreciate you guys supporting the show, but continue to hit that alert button. Make sure, because we're going to be popping on. I know Jimmy's working on some stuff out there. One last thing, because I saw someone come. Boone isn't out there playing. We just got beat by a better team. Needs hitters who can hit. Yeah, I mean, hey, you can't argue that too. These players get paid a lot of money. And that's all sports. That's football. A lot of people are quick to get rid of the coaches, but sometimes that change is good, right? You saw it with Carolina. Carolina took care of, and they got rid of some guys. They got rid of, traded. We didn't even get into that with Christian McCaffrey and stuff like that. But sometimes that culture change and that mindset change is what you need. And that might be something the Yankees need. So we're checking out my man Doug. Happy this picture made it safe and sound. We will see you next week. Any of my Cowboy fans and Cowboys Nation, your boy's going to be out there next week. I got the reinforcements. I got Jimmy D by my side. We're going to have a great time. We're, so definitely check us out. And like I said before, I said it on my last show. Any of you guys, you saw the luck. I want to give my girl Carissa some love. She felt the bad luck going on with the Cowboys. And what did she do? She changed that shirt. She put a Cowboys Nation Mike Tag shirt on. And next thing you know, nothing. All the good started happening. The turnovers happened. The scoring happened. We ended up rolling. So she recognized it. So I made this to any of my followers, anyone who's on here listening. If you don't have a Mike Tag shirt, I still have some left over. I'll give them to you. I got some left over from last season. I got, don't have every size, but I got specific sizes. You know me on Twitter. Send me a message on Twitter. Say, hey, Mike, hook your brother up with a shirt. Give me the size. Hook your sister up with a shirt. Give me the size. We'll get it out. And that way you can get the luck going, too, because you saw what happened. So what do you say, Jimmy?
And you know what, guys? Remember, we're your lead-in to Monday Night Football. Never mind all those other guys on TV. I can't wait to meet up with Cowboys Nation in Lot 10. And at Texas Live this weekend, we're going to be taking care of business, tearing the town down. You know how we roll. Mike Tag, I can't wait to see you. Doug, can't wait to see you. Everybody else out there in town, can't wait to see you.
All right. You guys have a good evening. We'll see you next week.
And Dak Prescott, being the gentleman that he was, picked him up off that 50-yard line and said, why don't you just pack it up?